Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today is the day, guys. I'm gonna pick my favorite HD for 2023. Now, most people know Ford has redesigned their pickups for 2023. GM has actually refreshed the Chevy and GMC HDs. Ram has done some small changes for 2023, like for the mirrors, things like that. But today, I'm gonna pick the truck that I think is the top pick for 2023 for my channel. Now, this is gonna shock and surprise a few people, and I would understand why, because this truck does not seem to be a popular one right now, especially with some of the mentioned trucks being refreshed, redesigned. But you have to understand, this is my unbiased opinion, and if I were not a YouTuber and I needed a HD truck, this would be my pick. So are you guys ready to see JB Reviews top pick for 2023 in the HD segment? Let's go. Believe it or not, this is the 2023 GMC Sierra 2500. Yes, this 3/4 ton is my top pick for 2023. I chose this truck because of a few things that they really do outshine the competition on, and I'm going to go over that in this video. Special shout out to Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. This truck is brand new. It is for sale, and there's only, I think, 1 or 2 of them left. So if you want one, you better jump on it. One of the biggest driving factors of me picking the Sierra 2500 for 2023 is pricing. So base price is right there, and total vehicle price is $89,305. Now keep in mind, this was considered the Denali Ultimate at the time. And as far as pricing goes, if you do go on to Jerry Seiner's website, they do have it marked down, so you can get the truck close to $80,000 if you have them sharpen their pencil a little bit. And there is some kind of special APR if you are looking to finance. Now, I know a lot of people are probably not going to agree with this, but I'm telling you, this is the best truck to purchase for 2023. Now, obviously, if you need a 3500, maybe I'll have to do a separate video because I chose this truck in particular for 2023. So, up front, I do believe that this is the best designed HD of all times. I do like the 2024s, but this is classy and timeless. And no matter what trim level you get, you do have LED headlights, high and low beam, standard. That does include the fog lights down below. And for the most part, the styling is pretty clean throughout each trim level, especially if you get an SLE. But when you think about the money of this truck too, you have a forward-facing camera. They're the only HD that gives you a functional hood scoop for the diesel. And again, the front end is just pure luxury. Off to the side, 20-inch wheels wrapped in the Goodyear Wrangler Trail Runners. I've had them on 2 of my trucks. I've probably put over 20,000 miles on them, so not a lot of miles, but they're doing really good from what I can see. And they're comfortable, they're quiet, and this is a 34-inch tire from the factory. So in my opinion, you don't really have to change off these tires when you get it like you do on the Ram side of the house. LT 275/6520 is the size. This tire is gonna have like about 36 to 3,700 pounds of capacity, 3,750. So great tire. This truck does have independent front suspension, which does help it to ride pretty dang good. And because of this setup, you can level this truck at no extra cost. And on the side, this truck does have the power deployable running boards. They add an LED strip on the bottom of them too, which lights up the ground. Smart key system on the front doors and the rear doors. They took this away for 2024. I don't know why, but they did. Reverse lights if you're backing up. And they were the first truck to have these steps built into the side of the bed. Oh, by the way, the bed is almost 6 foot 10 inches long, which is the biggest standard bed in the segment. Now, as far as the suspension goes, they do give you 5 leafs in the main pack, Rancho shocks,
And one thing that they did that was so unique was they added the fifth wheel prep package slightly behind the axle, which helps you when you're making turns with your fifth wheel or your gooseneck trailer, so it should give you better clearance for that. And this truck does have, although I think it's a little gimmicky, but they do have this tailgate that turns into a step. Also, they give you a handle, which makes it a lot easier to walk in for the ladies. This would be the perfect truck. You have a 4 and 7 pin, bed lights, and they were first to market to give you this camera view for your rear view mirror. Bed view cameras right there. And this tailgate also has other functions that are very useful. Now, down below, this truck has the 342 rear end, right? I'll explain why that's so cool with this truck in a second. Class 5 receiving hitch. You get 2 camera inputs for your trailer. You can put one on the inside, on the outside, on the back of it, however you want to do it. 7 pin and full LED taillights. Again, you can see those steps on the back. And overall, because of the slightly larger bed, this truck does have a really nice look on the side profile. Now let's go ahead and talk about this Duramax and 10-speed transmission. Back in 2020, GM was pretty much the first truck manufacturer to add a 10-speed transmission behind the Duramax. And it's a stamp of approved at Allison. So they built and designed this transmission, and it's stamp of approved by Allison Transmissions. This engine has 445 horsepower, 910 pound-feet of torque. I actually owned this truck in an AT4 trim, towed my fifth wheel, and this truck never feels like it's lacking for more power. I feel like with the 10-speed transmission, you have deep first, second, and third gears, which means you don't need a low gearing out back. Now, the only negative to that is if you do want to run taller tires, well, that does change the gearing of the truck. Although on my dually, I haven't really noticed a huge decrease in power. So who knows, maybe that transmission's making up for it. But not only that, they did add some reliability to this truck. This truck does have a Denso fuel pump and injectors, which from what I've learned over time, Denso is a good supplier of reliable parts. And with that being said, they made this engine, in my opinion, probably one of the most reliable ones in the segment. All right, now it's time to bring on the interior haters. A lot of people are going to say that this truck has the worst interior of any HD truck, especially if you've seen the new refresh interior for these HDs. But one thing that you'll learn really quickly is the design of the interior does not matter over the course of time. Sure, you're gonna like the 13.4 inch display that the new GMCs have and the 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster, but this truck works. It has soft touch, stitching. You have all the controls you would ever want for the mirrors, so you can put them into tow mode by power. They are power folding, and you can set it up with your key to fold and unfold when you get in and out of the truck. This truck does have 3 drive modes, including tow haul. So you have off-road and normal. You have auto full drive. So if the wheels slip, it will put it into full drive. 10-way driver's seat. They provide heads-up display. By the way, they were the first truck manufacturer to ever do that, or add it to their trucks, I should say. So you have that large readout for this screen here. And even though this screen isn't that big, it's very easy to use, very functional. Push button start is pretty much available on most of the trims. And one thing I loved about my truck is you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless. It has nice readout, easy to use screen. The trailering app has a lot of great functions to it. It saves the mileage, just like every other truck, but the tire pressure monitoring is where this truck wins. I love how they set it up. The 360 camera is easy to use for this truck, so if you want to, see that bird's eye view, and if you're hooking up to your trailer or if you're parking at a parking lot, it's just easy to use this. You have the frontal camera as you saw earlier. You can turn off bird's eye view. It's just easy. You have this camera view for the bed. You can zoom in if you like. You also can turn on the backup line for your gooseneck or fifth wheel trailer. And I think that overall, most people might not like the interior, but how often are you marveling over how beautiful an interior is? Like when I had my AT4 from 2023, I didn't like the interior as much as I did my Ram, but over time it didn't matter to me because it's just easy to use. It's very basic, but it's very easy to like learn to do a climate control. You have heated seats and ventilated seats. You have all your power plugs down below, wireless charger for your phone, and storage in the center. This is leather, has perforated leather in the center, stitched, and you have multiple storage areas on the side here. And they were first to market to have this rearview mirror as a actual video for the back. LED lights, home links up there, and they do provide LED lights for here too, and they use that warmer white color. And out back, they added storage on the seat backs right here, which is really innovative. Outboard heated seats, more USB and power plugs, 60/40 bench, and storage below the seat. So yeah, this truck is really class leading. And this is where I think this truck is my favorite, because they make things a little bit easier for what the purpose of this truck is used for, which is towing. They give you this trailering information, but one thing they did back in 2020, and something that Ford just kind of started doing for 2023, is they did increase the gross vehicle weight rating by about 1,300 pounds. So this used to be typically 10,000 pounds across the board. Ram only uses 10,000, which gives them less payload. Also, GM always has the highest axle rating out back. So 6,600 pounds, Ford is 6,340, Ram is 6,040. Now, this truck has just under 3,000 pounds. So they've been class leading in the 3/4 ton segment for payload for a while now. So they put all your towing numbers on the door, so they make it a lot easier. Gross combined weight ratings right there. The curb weight of the truck's right here. So again, this is why this is my favorite truck. The pricing and just the overall ergonomics of this truck, the styling, and the tow numbers are great, because the axle rating is always going to be the biggest deciding factor on how much you can tow. And they increased that by almost 600 pounds more than Ram and almost 300 pounds more than Ford. But regardless of what you think, this truck just works, and you can't beat the pricing right now. You could probably get this truck close to $80,000. And I really do think if you're in the market, this is the best one. Something I didn't mention earlier was this truck does have a 36-gallon fuel tank, which is the largest standard fuel tank for the standard bed pickups in this segment. But I hope you guys liked the video. If you would like for me to do more videos like this, picking a truck maybe every month that I like that I may have reviewed, maybe I can do that too. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. See you guys soon.